Hello students. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss a very important problem of physics. The problem is indeed interesting as well. It is better known to you as linear harmonic oscillator. So let us start and solve this problem as an application of Schrodinger equations. First, understand the term harmonic oscillator. Students, if any system which is displaced from its stable position, or you say the equilibrium position, experiences a restoring force to come back to its original place, just like this animation. If this system is displaced from its original position, then the restoring force set up in this system pushes it back to its original place. Then the force doesn't become zero at this center and it repeatedly starts vibrating about its main position. जब भी हम किसी सिस्टम को उसके स्टेबल पोजीशन से उसकी इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन से डिस्प्लेस करते हैं और अगर उस सिस्टम में एक रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स सेटअप हो जाए जो उसको वापस इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन की तरफ धकेल दे और इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन पर पहुंचने पर सिस्टम की रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स जीरो नहीं होती, जिसकी वजह से वो उस पोजीशन को क्रॉस करके आगे चला जाता है जहां पर वो रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स उसे वापस फिर से सेंटर की तरफ धकेलती है. एज अ रिजल्ट द सिस्टम starts vibrating about its equilibrium position, and as it goes far away from its center, the restoring force becomes as high as its displacement from the mean position. If we talk of this position, then the restoring force will be maximum because this position is at maximum distance from the equilibrium position. So when such system starts vibrating about its equilibrium position, then we say that the magnitude of the restoring force which acts in it is directly proportional to the displacement from the mean position. And as a result, here the restoring force is maximum because here it has a maximum displacement from the mean position. The restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement acts. Next, the direction of the restoring force is of course the opposite to the displacement. As x is increasing, F is acting towards the center. F is acting towards the equilibrium position. So here the negative sign. F is written as minus k of x, where k is an arbitrary constant. Familiar examples of harmonic oscillators are simple pendulum, like this animation, any diatomic molecule, atoms in the crystal lattice also. So there are many more examples in the macroscopic as well as in microscopic field. Look at this pendulum clock. This is a very fine example of harmonic oscillator. Look at the swing which is situated in the park. Here the object is going to and fro about its mean position, and the restoring force again pushes it back to the mean position. These are the atoms continuously vibrating about their mean position in the crystal lattice. So now, what is the physical importance of such systems? The importance of the harmonic oscillator is in both classical and quantum physics. It lies in the fact that if any force which becomes the function of displacement acts upon any particle or any system, that can be shown to be proportional to x its more displacement, then the particle or that system will be a simple harmonic oscillator. And if the amplitude of oscillation is very, very small for that oscillator, then all types of oscillation can be said as harmonic in character. So now let us see the classical viewpoint of this problem. जैसा कि बच्चों हमने पिछली प्रॉब्लम्स में भी किया था, हमने हर एक प्रॉब्लम जो कि हमने एज एन एप्लीकेशन ऑफ श्रोडिंगर इक्वेशन स्टडी की है, हमने सभी का सबसे पहले क्लासिकल व्यू पॉइंट स्टडी किया, उसके बाद क्वांटम व्यू पॉइंट स्टडी किया और उसके बाद हमने दोनों को कंपेयर करने की कोशिश की। उसी तरह से हम सबसे पहले यहाँ पर क्लासिकल व्यू पॉइंट देखते हैं एंड try to calculate the energy of oscillator applying the laws of classical mechanics. So according to classical mechanics, you consider a particle, say of mass m, which is restricted to move only in the direction along x-axis. Here, say x equal to 0 is the equilibrium position and the restoring force F, which is acting on the oscillating particle at any displacement on the x-axis, will be given by F equal to minus kx. And you know the potential energy of the particle, here the y-axis represents the potential energy. Potential energy is also related to force according to F equal to minus dV by dx. So you can equate minus dV by dx to minus kx and write dV as minus kx dx. From here on integration, you can get the expression for potential energy as 1 by 2 kx square. 1 by 2 kx square. And as V depends upon square of the displacement, so the resulting graph will be a parabolic shape as in the figure. So classical mechanics also suggests that the force can be written as product of mass and acceleration. And acceleration can be written as the second order derivative of displacement. On equating it to minus kx, we can get the equation of motion for the harmonic oscillator. If this is the second order equation, differential equation, then the solution of this equation can be written in this form: x is equal to a sine omega t plus phi, where a is the amplitude of oscillation, phi is the phase, and omega is the angular frequency, which is given by omega equal to root k by m. So when the particle vibrates and is at mean position x equal to 0, then its total energy E, here at x equal to 0, the total energy will be the sum of potential and kinetic energy and will be equal to 0 here. But as the particle moves outwards, its kinetic energy decreases and potential energy increases. But the sum of kinetic and potential energy will remain constant as E. See at the extreme position here, where x is equal to m. At x equal to m, the particle is here at its extreme position. The kinetic energy at this point will be 0 and the total energy of the particle will be its potential energy. At point m, the total energy is only its potential energy, which is equal to half kx square. So we can say that particle cannot go beyond this position, because if it goes beyond this position, then the potential energy will be greater than V, and obviously for that case the kinetic energy will have to be negative, and that's of course a meaningless concept. So at the point x equal to plus m, or you say this point as minus m, the velocity becomes zero and it changes sign and the particle reverses its direction. इस पोजीशन पर, जहाँ पर पार्टिकल इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन पर है, स्टेबल है, यहाँ पर हम कह सकते हैं कि इसकी टोटल एनर्जी जो कि सम है काइनेटिक एनर्जी और पोटेंशियल एनर्जी का, इसकी टोटल एनर्जी जीरो है। जैसे ही पार्टिकल ऑसिलेशन के सेटअप होने के बाद इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन से बाहर मूव करना शुरू करता है, तो धीरे धीरे इसकी काइनेटिक एनर्जी कम होती है। काइनेटिक एनर्जी कम क्यों होती है? क्योंकि रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स इसको पीछे की तरफ धकेल रही है, तो पार्टिकल धीरे धीरे स्लो डाउन होता है, लेकिन आगे जाते हुए इसकी पोटेंशियल एनर्जी बढ़ती है। हालांकि सम जो कि काइनेटिक एनर्जी और पोटेंशियल एनर्जी का सम है, जो कि टोटल एनर्जी है, वो हमेशा पार्टिकल की ई रहती है। इस पोजीशन पर, जो कि एक्सट्रीम पोजीशन है पार्टिकल की ऑसिलेशन की, जहां पर x इज इक्वल टू m है, इस पोजीशन पर पार्टिकल की टोटल एनर्जी सिर्फ पोटेंशियल एनर्जी है और पार्टिकल यहाँ पर आकर एक सेकंड के लिए रुक जाता है, जब हम ये कहते हैं कि पार्टिकल की काइनेटिक एनर्जी जो है वो जीरो हो गई है। अब पार्टिकल इससे आगे नहीं जा सकता, क्योंकि अगर इससे आगे जाएगा और पोटेंशियल एनर्जी अगर v से ज़्यादा हो गई तो काइनेटिक एनर्जी, इसका मतलब नेगेटिव हो गई। काइनेटिक एनर्जी कभी नेगेटिव नहीं हो सकती, तो हम उस केस को अवॉइड करेंगे। तो ये x इक्वल टू m जो पॉइंट है और x इक्वल टू माइनस m जो पॉइंट है, ये पॉइंट्स हम कहते हैं कि एक्सट्रीम पॉइंट्स है और पार्टिकल इनसे इनके बियॉन्ड नहीं जा सकता। ये वो पॉइंट हैं जहां पर आकर वेलोसिटी जीरो हो जाती है, अपना साइन बदलती है। साइन का मतलब पहले वो इस तरफ जा रही थी, अब वो क्या करेगी, वापस डायरेक्शन उसकी रिवर्स हो जाती है। एंड दीज पॉइंट्स इन क्लासिकल मैकेनिक्स आर नोन एज द टर्निंग पॉइंट्स। At these point, the total energy is equal to potential energy, which is given by half kx square. Now you see that energy is proportional to the displacement, or you can say the amplitude of the oscillation, which is x. And now for different type of oscillators, x can take any value from 0 to this x equal to m or minus m. So these are the continuous values which x can take, and obviously if x can take any value, the energy can also take any value ranging from 0 to infinity. E की वैल्यू भी 0 से इन्फिनिटी तक कुछ भी हो सकती है। तो दिस इज द क्लासिकल रिजल्ट, जो कि ये कहता है कि एनर्जी ऑफ ऑसिलेटर 0 से इन्फिनिटी तक कोई भी वैल्यू हो सकती है। नेक्स्ट वी स्टडी द क्वांटम व्यू पॉइंट। क्वांटम व्यू पॉइंट में हम क्या करते हैं, श्रोडिंजर इक्वेशन को सॉल्व करते हैं। हम सिस्टम के लिए सबसे पहले श्रोडिंजर इक्वेशन लिखेंगे और उसके बाद सिस्टम में से कुछ गिवन पैरामीटर्स को उसके अंदर सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे और उसे फिर हम सॉल्व करेंगे। सो राइट श्रोडिंजर इक्वेशन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, दिस इज द श्रोडिंजर वेव इक्वेशन। You know potential expression V as half kx square, so replace it with its value. So now the equation becomes d square psi over dx square plus 2m over h cross square into e minus half kx square into psi equal to 0. You also know the value of k from the past slide, which is equal to m omega square. So on replacing the value of k, the equation takes this form. Now, just by rearranging the terms in the equation, we can arrive at this equation. So now I'm going to put m omega over h cross as alpha and 2me over h cross square as beta in order to get a simplified form of this equation. So now the equation becomes d square psi over dx square plus beta minus alpha square x square into psi equal to 0. So now we have to find solution of this equation. This is the changed form of the Schrodinger equation. हमने कुछ changes करके इक्वेशन को इस फॉर्म तक बदल दिया है. अब हमें इस इक्वेशन की बजाय इस इक्वेशन का सोल्यूशन ढूंढना है. सो नाउ वी विल फाइंड सोल्यूशन ऑफ दिस इक्वेशन विच इज रिटन इन टर्म्स ऑफ बीटा एंड alpha. So we will follow few tricks from mathematics. So I'm going to substitute root alpha into x as y. So then this term will become in terms of y, sorry. And from here, dy by dx will become root alpha and d psi by dx, which can be written taking y in between, d psi by dy into dy by dx. So dy by dx becomes root alpha and it becomes root alpha into d psi by dy. Now you see this equation requires the value of d square psi over dx square. So you further take its derivative and it becomes alpha d square psi over dy square, where on substitution we have replaced value of dy by dx from here as root alpha, and now you have the value of d square psi over dx square as alpha into d square psi over dy square. Replace these values here in this equation, and on substitution you will get this equation in terms of y as d square psi over dy square plus beta over alpha minus y square is equal to psi equal to 0. Now this is the equation for which we have to find out the solution. First we try its asymptotic solution. Asymptotic mean that this term dominates over this term. We just try to make this part 0, so then this equation takes the simplest form. So for this, we assume that y is very much greater than beta by alpha. So then this term can be neglected, this part can be left, and the equation takes its simplest form, for which we can write the solution as psi equal to exponential plus minus y square by 2. If we take positive argument of this exponential, then we see that this quantity increases with the rising y, as y is further connected to x also. So this means that as x increases, psi also increases. x क्या है? x डिस्प्लेसमेंट है सिस्टम की. लीनियर हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर में x की एक मैक्सिमम पोजीशन आने के बाद पोजीशन रिवर्स करती है टुवर्ड्स इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन. x के बढ़ने के साथ साथ वेव फंक्शन नहीं बढ़ता. वेव फंक्शन एक लिमिट के बियॉन्ड नहीं एग्जिस्ट करना चाहिए, जो कि इस इक्वेशन से जस्टिफाई नहीं होता है. इट मीन्स दैट this is simply not acceptable solution. Second, if we take the negative argument, then it clearly shows that on increasing y, or you say x, you can see from here y is connected to x, y is related to x. So if the displacement is increased, the wave function finally is a decreasing function and does not increase asymptotically. So this form of wave function is simply acceptable to us. So we will continue with this wave function, this negative argument. So next, the standard procedure which will be valid for all values of y, then the solution will be of the form psi equal to a exponential minus y square by 2. You see the positive sign we have left here into hy, where hy are the Hermite polynomials, a very well known mathematical polynomial. So now we have to determine hy in order to get its complete solution. To calculate hy, just first calculate d psi by dy, then calculate d square psi by dy square. Substitute all these values in this equation, and upon substitution we will get this differential equation in this form, in the form of Hermite polynomial. You see the wave function has been replaced with h, the Hermite polynomial. Now if I want to solve this equation, first I replace this argument beta by alpha minus 1. If I replace it with simply 2n, where n is any integer 0, 1, 2 and so on, then the equation takes very simple form, d square h by dy square minus 2y dh by dy plus 2n into h. These are the simple solution which has Hermite polynomial in mathematics in the form of this series, Hermite series. But you remember that we in the very beginning had made two substitution in the form of alpha and beta, where alpha is equal to m omega over h cross and beta is equal to 2me over h cross square. So this ratio beta by alpha, upon substituting their values, become 2e divided by h cross omega. So if I replace this beta by alpha value here, then it becomes 2e divided by h cross omega is equal to 2n plus 1, which implies that the energy of the oscillator E can be written as h cross omega into n plus 1 by 2. This is the energy of the harmonic oscillator. The solution of the Schrodinger equation can be written using this equation, where Hermite polynomial are being solved in this form. So now we have arrived at the final solution of the harmonic oscillator with energy of the harmonic oscillator written in this form. So this is the energy of harmonic oscillator, which can further be written in terms of frequency nu. As you know, omega is equal to 2 pi by nu. So it simply becomes h nu. Earlier it was h cross, so 2 pi cancels out and this becomes h nu into n plus 1 by 2. These are the energy eigenvalues of the linear harmonic oscillator. So knowing this pattern, if I draw the energy level diagram of the harmonic oscillator, where n equal to 0 corresponds to the ground state energy of the harmonic oscillator, n equal to 1 corresponds to the first excited state of the harmonic oscillator, n equal to 2 is first second excited state, and similarly this is the third excited state. Simply putting n equal to 0 here, it becomes half h nu, where half h nu becomes the energy of the ground state of the harmonic oscillator. Similarly, this is 3 by 2 h nu, which is the energy of first excited state, 5 by 2 energy of second excited state, and 7 by 2 as the energy of third excited state. You see all these energy levels are separated by a constant gap of h nu. So this is from this energy level diagram, we can write the major conclusion for the linear harmonic oscillator. that as the energies have certain fixed values, each energy level has a fixed value. So we say that the energies of the harmonic oscillator are discrete and are said to be quantized. Next, since for n equal to 0, we have energy equal to 1 by 2 h nu. This is the ground state energy of the harmonic oscillator, or the minimum energy that a harmonic oscillator can possess. And obviously, you can see that this energy is not zero. So half h nu will be the 0 point energy of the harmonic oscillator. If you remember, this is the same situation which we have seen in the case of particle in a box problem. There also, the ground state energy was not zero, and that minimum energy was called as the 0 point energy of the particle in a box case. And at the same time, we can also say that this prediction of quantum mechanics is just the opposite to the classical prediction. क्लासिकल मैकेनिक्स के अकॉर्डिंग हमने ये देखा था कि हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर 0 से इन्फिनाइट तक कोई भी वैल्यू अटेन कर सकता है, जबकि क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स ने ये साफ किया कि हार्मोनिक ऑसिलेटर की एनर्जी फिक्स होती हैं, कॉन्टिन्यूस नहीं होती। क्या होती हैं? हाफ एच न्यू, उसके बाद 3/2 h nu, उसके बाद 5/2 h nu, एंड सो ऑन. All energies are separated by a energy gap of h nu. So here the quantum prediction and classical predictions are in clear contradiction. Next, we see the wave function of the harmonic oscillator, which are also called the eigenfunctions of the harmonic oscillator. This was the solution of the Schrodinger equation, which we had written for this problem of harmonic oscillator, which comes out to be in form of Hermite polynomial. If you remember, using this calculation process, this was the solution of Schrodinger equation, which we have written here, and the Hermite polynomial comes out to be here. So this is the same which we have written here. So this wave function is not normalized, and in order to normalize it, obviously we will make use of normalization condition. And the normalization condition says that the probability density integrated over the complete space must be unity. And on making use of this normalization condition, we can evaluate the normalization constant A and finally get psi normalized. So this is the normalized wave function, which is calculated using the normalization condition, and this factor, this part, is the substitution for the normalization constant A. So using this normalized wave function, you can easily write the ground state wave function, which corresponds to n equal to 0. Simply if you replace n as 0 here in this equation everywhere, you can write psi 0, the ground state wave function, as this, where you need to calculate h naught y. H naught y can be calculated using this expression, and h naught y comes out to be 1, substituted back here, so this becomes the expression for ground state wave function. Next, first excited state wave function, where you need to put n equal to 1 in this equation. So on putting this, you can get psi 1 wave function for the first excited state, where you need to calculate the Hermite polynomial h1y, and h1y again can be calculated using this expression. So comes out to be 2 root alpha x, can be substituted back in order to amount this psi1. And similarly, you can also calculate, also write psi2, the second excited state wave function. So psi naught, psi1, psi2, these are the wave functions for ground state, first excited state, and the second excited state of the linear harmonic oscillator. If I plot all these wave function, this is psi 0, this is psi 1, and this is psi 2. So you see that the ground state wave function has a shape of Gaussian curve. This is the shape of Gaussian curve, and it has the even parity. Why I am saying even parity? Because any wave function has even parity when on replacing x by minus x, the wave function doesn't change. You can see that if you change x by minus x, you have the same wave function. Similarly, for first excited state, if you check for parity, that is, if you replace x by minus x, you can clearly observe that the wave function reverses its polarity, that is, it becomes minus of psi x. So we say that the first excited state wave function has odd parity. Now, on the same pattern, the second excited state wave function has even parity, as replacing x by minus x doesn't make any change in the wave function. These vertical dashed line represents the boundaries of x equal to m and x equal to minus m, between which an oscillator oscillates classically with the same energy. मतलब क्लासिकल मैकेनिक्स के अकॉर्डिंग ये बाउंड्रीज फर्म रिजिड बाउंड्रीज हैं जिसके बीच कोई भी ऑसिलेटर ऑसिलेट करता है. पार्टिकल इन बाउंड्रीज के बियॉन्ड नहीं जा सकता. लेकिन इन प्लॉट्स में हमें साफ दिखाई दे रहा है कि वेव फंक्शन स्लाइटली इन बाउंड्रीज के बाहर एक्सीड कर रहा है. Here in the case of psi 02, here this is the case for psi 1 where the wave function is exceeding the boundaries. Psi 2 is also exceeding the boundaries. So it means that these limits are said to be the boundaries between which a classical oscillator would vibrate. But quantum mechanically, if we minutely observe the situation, we see that the harmonic oscillator is slightly exceeding the maximum amplitude A with the exponentially decreasing probability. You see that this probability everywhere is decreasing probability. However, it is said by quantum mechanics that it penetrates the boundary. It goes beyond the limit, or you can see that it enters into the classically forbidden region, क्योंकि classical mechanics ने इन बाउंड्रीज को रिजिड कर दिया कि यहाँ पर नहीं जा सकते. क्लासिकली ये रीजन क्या है, फॉरबिडन है, नॉट अलाउड है. बट क्वांटम मैकेनिकली दिस plot of wave function is clearly showing to us that the system has the probability to go beyond the maximum limit and enter into the classically forbidden regions. So students, this was all about the problem of linear harmonic oscillator. Really hope that you have enjoyed the calculation part and made the problem easy to yourself. Enjoy learning. Thank you.